Hello and welcome back to more High Peak. Well, today you join me as I'm on my way to work and I've got a bit of a bee in my bonnet. I was going through my stockbook yesterday and then I had a look at my website and I've got two cars that I just cannot sell. I've had them for months and they've just completely rooted themselves to the forecourt, which is a bit frustrating. They're both quite decent cars, but I just can't seem to sell them. In fact, I can't give them away. I've tried reducing them and that didn't work. I've tried tweaking the advert and that didn't work. I've tried repicturing them and that didn't work either. So I'm not really sure what to do next. I thought today I'd go and show you around them and try and work out why they haven't sold. It's weird, I can't get my head around it. One is a late 2016 66 reg Mitsubishi L200 that I bought, you ready for this? In January. It's now October. I bought it in January 2025, that's 9 months ago. 9 months! The other is a 2018 Kia Soul, which again I bought in January, the last week of January 2025. So 9 months I've had thousands of pounds tied up in these two cars. It isn't great business, that. I mean, think about it. I've had thousands of pounds laid out for 9 months just sitting on the forecourt doing nothing, not turning a wheel. That's money that I've got trapped in those two cars that I can't do anything with. I could have reinvested that money by now and spun it round 10 times, but no, it's still sitting there in those two cars. You might think I'm a bit stupid for doing this because I know a lot of dealers who have a 90-day policy. So if they've had a car in stock for 90 days, on the 91st day, it gets sent to auction. I've never really got my head around that or agreed with it. So they send it to auction on the 91st day and then maybe even take a loss on it. And I just think that's a bit of a waste. Yes, it frees up the money, but I'd rather have the car sitting there without a loss than them gone and then take a loss. I always think if I was happy enough to buy the car in the first place and I'd happily buy another, then don't lose faith with it. Just sit tight and, hopefully it will sell. But 9 months is quite a long time, isn't it? Everything does sell eventually, so I'm not too stressed, but I've just got to get the advert right and then try and find a buyer for it. I think I need to be a little bit more proactive with these two because everything I've done up to this point hasn't worked, clearly. In terms of price, I bought the L200 for £9,200 plus VAT, and I've got it advertised for about £10,700 plus VAT, so there's still a profit margin in it, even after all these months. And, I mean, as you can see, I'm not being greedy there. It's not like I've overpriced this and slapped £5,000 profit on it. That's quite a realistic profit margin, so I'm not being greedy. It's not like the reason it hasn't sold is because I'm simply asking too much, because that isn't the case. It's the same story with the Kia Soul. Now the Kia Soul is a 2018 and it's done about 68 or 69,000 miles. It's petrol, it's quite a decent spec. So on the face of it, it's quite desirable. And I paid £6,600 for that and it's advertised for £7,995. So there's a £1,400 gross margin. So again, I'm not being greedy. But again, weirdly, it just hasn't sold. And the Kia Soul and the Mitsubishi L200 are usually popular vehicles to sell. The fact that I've still got a bit of a profit margin in it, on paper at least, after all this time, is encouraging. I just need to get them sold now and out the door and money back in the bank. The downside to all this, or the bad news really, is that I've still been paying the advertising costs for these cars for the last 9 months. I think my Auto Trader package right now equates to about £100 per week per car. So it is very expensive. So if we quickly do the maths there, that's 9 months times, there's 4.3 weeks in a month on average. That is 38.5-ish, 38.5-ish. So times £100 per week, that's £3,850 in advertising costs alone per vehicle. So even if I sell both these cars at the asking price, I'm still taking a big fat loss. So yeah, it's not great business, is it? I'm realistic though, this is business. You can't win every single deal, it just doesn't work that way. You know, when you're at the fair, you can't knock a coconut down every single throw, can you? It doesn't work like that, sadly. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to take this one on the chin and move on. But the problem is still there. I need to get rid of both these cars. Both vehicles might need a little bit of something. It's been months now since I've shown them any attention. So I thought today we'll go and have a look around them and see what we can do to try and encourage a sale and find them a new home. Anyway, we're not too far away now, so I shall see you at work. Right, well, I've got the keys for both cars. These keys I've had in my possession now for nearly a year. And that is the L200 in question. And that's the Kia Soul. So it's weird, isn't it? Because they're quite desirable cars, and yet they're just, well, they're part of the furniture now, sadly. Let me show you around then, and we'll try and figure out why it hasn't sold. So on the face of it then, these are always sell, which is why it's a bit puzzling. It's a 2018, it's done 69,000 miles with loads of service history. It's a good colour, it's a good spec, and they're quite cool, funky cars, these, aren't they? So this one, for example, has got the gloss black contrasting trim on the wheel arches. The paintwork's good, the tyres are all good, The wheels are good, they don't need refurbishing. Like there's no cracks in the tail lights or anything, nor the fog lamps. I really can't figure out why this hasn't sold. So even things like the tyres, I mean, they're not the best brand, they're a Dynamo, but they're newish. They're on like 6mm of tread. There's no stone chips on the bonnet. I've already changed the reg plates and put High Peak Autos branded plates on. That usually does it. So I don't know. There are no chips in the windscreen. If you're being really critical, there's some paint flake in here on the roof bars, but I mean, come on. It's a 7-year-old car, that isn't the reason. Now, of course, it's covered in cobwebs. So that's not great. We've got matching tyres on the front. In fact, that's not great. That bumper there has popped out. I don't think that's the reason it hasn't sold though, to be honest. Either that's popped out or this is in, but that's not quite right. Maybe that needs a bit of attention then. I don't remember it being like that. It could well have happened on this forecourt. It's so tightly packed, sometimes we have little accidents. So I can sort that out. But again, I don't think that's the reason it hasn't sold. It could do with a bit of a buff really as well. The paintwork does look a bit flat. Perhaps we'll get that done. It could do with a clean as well because it's been sitting here for ages. We do try and keep them clean and wash them regularly, but I think it just needs a bit of life putting back into it. There was one issue with this car actually that I didn't figure out for a few months. For some reason, it was flagged up as having finance outstanding on it, and I didn't realise that. I bought it from a local main dealer, so there's no issue there. But for some reason, the previous finance company hadn't taken off the marker, so it was still shown as having outstanding finance. So I called the finance company, and then they removed the marker off it, so it's fine now. But that's why it's really important that you check out a car's history thoroughly before you pay for it. And that brings us nicely to today's video sponsor, Car Vertical. Now, before you hand over any cash for a used car or motorbike, it's really important that you do a thorough vehicle history check first. Let me show you how it works then. All you need to do is go to carvertical.com and type in the reg or the VIN. I'll also leave the link below in the video description, but all you need to do is type in Mike Juliet 18 Uniform Kilo Golf and then check vehicle. And what this does then is it checks database in 35 different countries. This isn't just a UK only thing. It'll tell you whether the car's ever been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has outstanding finance on it. In addition to that, it shows you things like the ownership changes, the reg plate changes, the MOT history, the spec, the average market value. So much there that I run out of breath. It doesn't take long to generate this report, and it isn't expensive, and it's cheaper still if you use my promo code HIGHPEAK. That's HIGHPEAK all one word, and you'll save yourself 20% off each and every check that you do. And you can use that promo code as many times as you like. Right, and the report's ready. So let's view report. We've got a low score here, so there's an issue with the mileage, possible rollback. This could be the reason it hasn't sold, you know. It's clear on all the other fronts though, so no outstanding finance, no recorded damage, all that stuff, so that's all good. Beware, this vehicle may have fake mileage. Let's go then. So if we go down to the area of concern, it had done 12,000 miles, then 26, then the following year 41, then somebody had entered the mileage in at 18. Now, having done this job for years, I can spot that as just being a typo. There's nothing suspicious there, but it's worth being armed with that knowledge. It tells you the full spec of the car. It's 1.6 petrol, one owner change in 2020. Then we've got the most recent MOT, which was done in March 2025, so it is due another. And yeah, that's it. So thanks Car Vertical for sponsoring another video. And yeah, don't forget my promo code HIGHPEAK for 20% off. This could be the reason someone hasn't bought this. They might have done their own Car Vertical check and it flagged up with a dodgy mileage entry and then it's put them off. But if you check through the service history, the mileage adds up. So that's obviously just a typo. I don't know if that's the reason or not. It is quite a common thing to see a typo on the MOT history. But what I'd advise you do is check the service history and make sure that stacks up. If that's also shown an error, then it might have been clogged. But if it's not, then it's obviously just an MOT tester in a rush that day. So again, I don't think that's the reason this hasn't sold. Now if we have a look inside, so the mystery continues really, because the inside of this is immaculate. There are no dog smells, no cigarette smells, it's nice and clean, nothing's broken. You know, the trim's not all scruffy and scratched. It's in really good shape for a 70,000 mile, 7-year-old car. And if we start it, we've got both sets of keys. It's a 6-speed manual. We've got half a tank of fuel. It's done 69,500 miles. Clutch feels good. There's no rattle on startup. it is all good really, it's all positive. It's also really good spec. So we've got sat nav, we have got a reverse camera, which works. It hasn't got all cloudy like some Kias do. You've got Bluetooth, USB, auxiliary. It is a nice clean car with no warning lights on. You know, sometimes you might have a car that smells of cigarettes or dogs and you think, well, that might put some people off. But with this, I don't really know why it hasn't sold. Let me pull this forward then and we'll look around it more thoroughly. I think it's good to do this every once in a while and just familiarise yourself with your own stock. It'll at least give you some confidence again, because there really is nothing wrong with this car. The bonnet struts are good, the windows work, the mirrors work. It's all nice and clean. There is no reason anyone wouldn't buy this. And yet, here we are 9 months later. Now in the boot, again, it's nice and clean. The parcel shelf's there and intact. It's not all broken. We've got a spare wheel and lock-in wheel nut. You know, if I were in the market for a Kia Soul, I would buy this. There's nothing that I've seen so far that would put me off. It needs a clean now, to be fair, but no, there'd be nothing there that I'd think, oh, walk away from that one. Doesn't make sense, does it? It's got a tow bar, actually. That could be the reason, maybe. It's only a detachable one. I could get that taken off, you know. But that's an idea. Might remove the tow bar. Lots of people don't like to see those because it's a sign, you know, that it's been towing, obviously. And it could have a weak clutch. But a little detachable one like this and a 1.6 petrol, they won't have been towing anything heavier than a little garden trailer. Still, I might take that off. Right, okay, we've got a bit of a job list now then, haven't we? Take the tow bar off it, fix the front bumper, give it a wash and a buff, and then rephotograph it. Let's take it for a drive then and see what it's like, because I haven't driven this for ages. Let's check for any faults and stuff. Let's see why it hasn't sold. It could be in the drive, who knows? Right, let's take this for a bit of a spin then. See if we can figure out if that's the reason it hasn't sold, if it drives terribly. I doubt that though, because it will have had a service and MOT back in March. And it obviously had 2 new tyres, because they're the budget tyres my mechanic uses. There really is no reason. Brakes are fine, steering feels good, clutch feels nice. In fact, I'm just going to be stuck in traffic if I go this way. We'll go the other way. It's a nice little car, this. I genuinely don't know what's gone on. And like I said at the start though, I'd buy another one tomorrow. It wouldn't put me off, it wouldn't deter me. Other Kia Souls I've bought and sold around this one, it just doesn't make sense. It's not like it's in a horrible colour. You know, if it was like brown or bronze or something, I'd be thinking, well, that makes sense. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but it's white. The most popular colour on the UK roads. Drives fine though, changes gear nicely, actually feels very fresh. And you never know it done 69,000 miles either. Which, by the way, isn't high really. You know, for a 7-year-old car, it's average mileage, or less than. So there is no real reason why this hasn't sold. I think the trick here really is to not lose confidence with it. Yes, I've had it in stock for an eternity, but there's nothing wrong with it. I think what we're going to do then is, got a bit of a job list now, get rid of this flapping around because it's irritating me. We'll take it to Jimmy, get the little bit of paintwork done on that passenger side. I'll paint the roof rails. I might paint them black actually, that might look cool. Thank you. Thanks. We'll paint the roof rails, we'll give it a buff, give it a clean. I'll get it to my mechanics, get a fresh MOT put on it. What else can we do? I think I'll remove the tow bar as well. And what I might do in the meantime is delete the advert, because Auto Trader, we pay Auto Trader a fortune and they really don't do car dealers any favour whatsoever. But they tell everyone how old the advert is, which isn't a good sign. If it looks like this car's been in stock for 200 days, everyone's going to think, well, why? What's wrong with it? And there's nothing wrong with it. That's the annoying part. So I think what I'll do is delete the advert and then start afresh. When this is back in a week's time, I'll just treat it as a brand new car, write the advert again, perhaps tweak the wording of the advert slightly, and see if I can't sell it. I don't think I need to do anything with the price because, like I say, I paid £6,600 for this and it's on at £7,995, and I've spent a couple £100 on tyres, a service and MOT. So it's not like it's too expensive. Maybe reduce it a couple £100 maybe, but I don't think that's the answer. I think I'll do all the other little jobs and then just treat it as a fresh car. I think that's what I'll do. Because now I've driven this, I've given myself some confidence again with it. It's fine, there's nothing wrong with it at all. If I knew somebody that wanted a Kia Soul, I would wholeheartedly recommend this one. It's fine. It's quite a nice example. The air conditioning works, it's good. I'm going to drop this off then and get on with the few jobs that I need to do, and then we'll go back to the L200 and we'll do the same thing. See why that hasn't sold. Maybe there's something obvious with that, I don't know. But with this, it is a mystery. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments. Have I missed something? Am I missing something here? Why hasn't this sold? We're back, so we better check out the next one, hadn't we? The next is this 2016 Mitsubishi L200. And again, on the face of it, it's a nice car. During the period that I've owned this one, I've bought and sold maybe half a dozen more L200s, but for some reason this one has just rooted itself to the forecourt. It's a good spec, so it's a Barbarian spec. It's in good condition. It's done 109,000 miles, which is a little bit high, but for a workhorse truck like this, it's not that high. The service history is excellent. I bought this from a local main dealer, so the previous owner bought a brand new one. Everything's there really, it all stacks up. Got both sets of keys, plus the key for the truckman back. Let me show you around it then. Tyre-wise, we've got a Devante on the back, on about 4mm of tread. There's no rust here, it's all quite tidy. I mean, there is a little bit of surface rust, but nothing serious. Around this side, we've got a Sierra by Max Trex. Not a great brand, but it's on like 4mm of tread, it's not bad. The bodywork's very good. No dents or scratches or scuffs. It's all very tidy. Headlamps are good, they're not cloudy. It's got its original Mitsubishi Holcroft plates, so I could put some high peak plates on it, but I don't think that's the reason it hasn't sold. The bonnet isn't chippy. There are a couple of little scratches here, but I mean, for a workhorse, it's not bad. These kinds of pickup trucks are usually battered, and this is quite a good condition, quite a good example of one. We've got a matching tyre on the front there, on about 4mm of tread. It's got nice chrome wing mirror covers. I think this is all part of the Barbarian spec, because the chrome mirrors match these chrome door handle surrounds. It's got the side steps, privacy glass. We've got a matching Devante on the back, on about 5mm of tread. I might, in the past with pickup trucks, I've taken them to Jimmy the Magician, who's covered all this area here in like this black, I think it's called Raptor or Rapture or something, and it does look a lot more presentable. I could get that done, just tidy the whole thing up, just give it a bit of a lift. But bodywork wise, there's a little scuff here that could come off, and it's damaged this back area. That isn't the reason this hasn't sold though. People, on trucks like this, people just expect the odd dent or two, but that's really not bad. The tailgate's not dented, it's all good. If we have a look in the back then, it's all in good order. That needs lubricating. It obviously hasn't been opened in 9 months. There we go. We'll grease up the tailgate. But it's all in decent condition. It's got the load liner in it as well. I think we've got a few things we could do then straight away. I think I'll get it to Jimmy's, get him to just tidy it up, paint in the wheel arches there, do some touch-ins, tidy up this back area as well, because I don't really want to have to fill and paint this whole panel, but we could improve that, I think, and we can certainly get this mark off that. Yeah, we can certainly get this mark off here and do some touch-ins here and just take your eye off that a little bit. This area here wants detailing really. I'll order some new plates for it. We can lubricate the tailgate. I don't know if you can hear this, but the alarm's ringing. I don't know. I've managed to start it, so the battery wasn't flat, but I do think it needs a new battery because the alarm's ringing. The hazard lights are going. It started fine, but I think the battery's on its way out. There you go. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's the faint noise of an alarm in the background. It's probably a good thing I've done this, you know. I'm going to take this down to my mechanics, get a new battery fitted. In fact, jump in, we'll drive down there. So, we need a new battery. We can do that, that's an easy fix. It's currently MOT'd until April, which was the last one I had done. But I think we did new discs or something like that, new discs and pads, which it had. So there's not a single advisory item on the last MOT. We've got a reverse camera. We've got heated leather seats. It's not a bad truck, this, really. But I'm thinking maybe now this is the reason why this hasn't sold. Maybe we've had some inquiries on it. Maybe people have come to look at it, and it just looks a little bit sorry for itself. So again, I'll delete the advert and we'll start it as a fresh car. We'll go and get the battery issue sorted first. We'll put a new battery on it. Then we'll go to Jimmy the Magician. We'll ask him to blacken off the wheel arches, give the whole thing a bit of a polish and clean up. Try and sort out that scuff on the back bumper, which I'm sure can be improved. That's about it, really. I'm going to lubricate the tailgate. We'll run it through a fresh MOT, so it's got 12 months, and then start again. Rephotograph it, do the advert, maybe tweak the price slightly. I don't think that's the reason it hasn't sold though, but it's all you can do, isn't it? Because there's nothing actually wrong with the car. It's got loads of history, and I'd buy it again tomorrow. So it isn't that. So there's no point losing faith with it just yet. It drives very well though, this. I'm quite pleased with it. The clutch is nice and light, gearbox is good, steering's nice, brakes are fine. Typical pickup truck, the ride is a bit rough, but that's what they're all like. There's no fault with this particular one. They're just very bouncy. Without any weight in the back, you kind of bounce all over the place. That's because they've got an old-fashioned leaf spring suspension setup on the back. But yeah, it actually drives very well. Nothing wrong with it. The thing with this is, I don't think we've ever had a single test drive in 9 months. So it's not like people are coming, driving it and then thinking, no, that's not for me. We're just not even getting to that point. So they're obviously put off by the advert, perhaps. I'm not sure. That's all it can be, really, isn't it? Because everything else works. Windows work, mirrors work, air conditioning works. We're all good. Like I say, this being the Barbarian is quite a good spec. I think we've just got to entice more people or get more people to it first. And the thing to bear in mind is people buy with their eyes, don't they? We've got to make it look as nice as possible. So I think that's what we'll do. You know, sometimes these kinds of cars just slip through the net. You know, I buy lots of cars every single month. Sometimes when you're busy, this will have, I guarantee, I remember going to pick up this car from a local main dealer. This will have arrived when I was busy buying loads of other cars. So you kind of prepare it to a standard, service, MOT, valet, and not done all the other little tiny jobs that it perhaps needed. So perhaps I'm at fault here with this. Anyway, we'll sort it. We've caught it in time just before its first birthday. Right, let's go and get this battery replaced then. And then we'll go to Jimmy's and get the paintwork sorted. Right, well, we've dropped both those cars off, and now I've seen them and spent some time with them, it's given me a bit more confidence with them again. There's nothing wrong with either of those two cars. Yes, the L200 needs a battery and there are a few little marks on it, which I'll sort out, but I don't think that's the reason it hasn't sold. But it's all we can do really for now, just to try and make them as good as possible, redo the advert, and then start afresh. So what I'm going to do now is, I've logged into my Auto Trader site here, the dealer portal. I'm going to end both those adverts. I'll leave them off for maybe like a week or so until the cars are back. And then I'll start them as a fresh advert. So the Kia Soul should be back first, then shortly after that, it'll be followed by the Mitsubishi L200. As soon as they're back, I'll take new photographs, load a new advert up, and then fingers crossed. I'm never overly concerned about this because doing this job for like 15 years now, this kind of thing does happen occasionally. So you've just got to remain unfazed and undeterred by it and continue, keep pushing forward. You can't focus too heavily on any one particular car because you drive yourself crazy. Yes, I will have lost £3,000 or £4,000 in advertising cost on each car, but it doesn't really matter. As long as I'm still selling 20, 30, 40 cars a month, it's fine. This thing invariably happens, so you just got to deal with it as best you can and not waste too much time on it. Like I said at the start of this video, a lot of garages have this 90-day policy. So after 90 days, they just send them to auction and get the money back in, even if it's a loss, and move on to the next thing. But as you've seen with the L200 and the Kia Soul, they're both decent cars that I'd buy again tomorrow. So I don't want to do that. I'd rather not take a loss. I'd rather hold on to them and then eventually find a decent home for them both. They're both good cars that I'd sell with confidence. Perhaps I should be a bit more ruthless with these kinds of things, but it isn't me. I'd rather prepare it to a decent standard and then sell it and find a new home for it. But what are your thoughts on this? Would you get rid of them after 90 days, send them to auction for a loss? Or would you do what I've done? Just stuck with them and try to find a new home for them? What would you do? Luckily this doesn't happen with every single car, otherwise there'd be no business here at all. But, you know, I don't know, half a dozen times a year this happens. So unfortunately you just got to get on with it. So anyway, I think that's about it. I'm going to end these adverts now and then go back to the office and continue with my day. But thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. I'll leave the links below. And I'll see you next time. I've got a feeling over there I've just spotted my Mitsubishi i-MiEV. That's been here now for about 3 months. So I think I might give some attention to that as well. Otherwise in 6 months time I'll be doing another video with that. We don't want that to happen, do we? So yeah, I'll see you next time. Cheers guys.